Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Dr. Travis Goodson, and tonight we're going to be covering episode 2 in our Objective Growth series. So let's pick up where we left off. We were talking about Aruba and Colorado and varying degrees of uncertainty between executives and their data science teams. And tonight we're going to be discussing the point of frustration or friction or the fire, so-called, that we've been speaking about in this series. So do you know the percentage of chief executive officers across the world that are comfortable with using technology or data science inside of their organizations? So I can tell you this, I know that 67% of executives say they're not comfortable using data science tools at all, 0. I'll go through, and below this video, I'll go through and put the article. It's a review from Harvard that goes through and demonstrates this. Also, we know that 63% of organizations don't even consider themselves data-driven anymore. Like, what are we doing? If you look back in 2017, we actually had a higher percentage of businesses that considered themselves data-driven, but now those numbers seem to be declining. Well, what about machine learning and AI and Python and R and all these other technologies wrapped around to give us a better picture of our businesses? So we're going to turn this on its head, and we're going to be looking at it not from the top down, but from the bottom up. So if you have a data science team inside of your organization, I want you to think about this. This team and these individuals are 100% data science. You, as an executive, the primary audience for these videos, vice president, director, chief, whatever, you are coming at it from a 100% leadership perspective. So what happens whenever 67%, oddly, is not comfortable using tools that are native to the employees that are 100% of that discipline? Well, frustration happens, right? So what would happen if one of the employees said, well, I am only 67%, unwilling to do X, Y, and Z for the company, or I'm 30% comfortable with the leadership of my company? It would be a problem. It would be a systemic problem. So why are we not saying that it's a systemic problem whenever executives don't understand or unwilling to learn about data science in an organization? Taking a step back, it's important to recognize that business strategy necessitates everyone being hands on deck all the time and engaged and effectively being used and demonstrating their proficiency and skill levels and abilities. Because like we talked about last night, the important thing is that employees exist inside of an organization to do specific tasks. Something that either the executive staff or those that founded the company don't have the capacity to do because of time, or it's something that's outside of their native skill set. So they hire individuals as a part of a collective team to do these tasks on their behalf, alongside, or for them, whatever the case may be. So if you have a data science team that's out here, you've effectively purchased a capability that you're saying, oh no, I don't want to use that thing that's over there for the benefit of all of us. Now, what would happen if your data science team said that about your leadership? Flipping the coin on its head, what would happen if the employees in the organization had the exact same laissez-faire attitude towards the leadership, vice the leadership towards capabilities and skill sets inside of that organization? So the frustration, this fire that we talked about last night, we're going to unpack a little bit more. So it's not just about percentages, and yes, we're being very objective with some of the statistics we're throwing out there, but there are real tangible people behind these perceptions, these opinions, and ultimately the work that gets done inside of a company. So if you have an underutilized data science team, or those that aren't even a part of the corporate strategy, that needs to be addressed immediately. It would be the same thing as going to your finance department and saying, hey, we no longer have need of your payroll services. God forbid that would never happen, but it's the same thing that happens every single day, all across multiple industries when it comes to data science. The statistics reflect that, as well as the perceptions of executives and those in these innovative data science teams. So what do we do with this huge push towards artificial intelligence and machine learning, these large profit-producing activities, when we don't even understand the fundamentals of how data science can be applied in their respective industries? Well, the first thing we need to do is acknowledge that there is a fire. Now that we've said the elephant is in the room, it's time to go through and acknowledge that and say, where do we go from here? Well, I encourage you, walk down the hallway and meet the employees doing the good work in the arena of data science. Right? So now that we have noticed this fire, it's time to begin our response. The response starts with 1, acknowledging, and then 2, saying, hey, let's move closer to get a better look of the nature, the direction, the size, the scope, the velocity at which this fire is burning, so we can have a tangible outcome. meet with the people, discover where they're at, and then turn that 67% of ambiguity in your company over data science into something about maybe 5%. And at that margin, you've learned enough to successfully implement that team. That's what we're going to be diving into in our next several episodes. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. As a quick little recap, we know that executives in corporate America, all across multiple industries, would like to say they're data-driven, but there's actually been a decline of those that actually go through and say, yes, we are using our data science teams effectively. Also, we know that there's a fundamental lack of training and education available to executives, vice presidents, directors, chief, whatever, when it comes to learning how to best leverage technology, innovation, and data science. So I'm very glad you're here. Please tune back in tomorrow for our next series in objective growth. And remember, stay objective.